Hello, everybody. I got a request, so I'm very, very excited about that. It's not exactly a request, but I got an email kind of asking me to evaluate some double tonguing, so I wanted to make a special video addressing that. Double tonguing can be bad for a couple different reasons. Number one, it isn't clear. Number two, the time isn't good. So you want to really be careful of the time when you're learning to double tongue. You'll hear a lot of funky stuff going on. Something kind of like it just won't be real even. You want like da 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 da, but da 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 da. You want to have a real evenness in it. A lot of times you'll hear something kind of this. I'm exaggerating, but you see what I'm saying. Now, when you're doing basic double tonguing exercises, so if you get the Arbenz book out or whatever, and you're hammering away on some double tonguing, a lot of times you're going to run upon an exercise kind of like. Okay, great. And that's a good exercise. A lot of value can be had in that. But when we're doing that, you're not changing notes as you're double tonguing. So you're only double tonguing on one note level, and then you go to another level and then start double tonguing on that level. So if you're playing with kind of bad time, like I'm exaggerating again, but if it's a little funky, if the time's a little funky, you can be successful in playing through the exercise. You're not going to miss any notes, and you may not realize how bad the time is. But if you take the same player and have them try to do, let's say like a Clark 2, for instance, double-tongued, you're going to run into all sorts of problems, because unless the fingers are wrong at the exact same rate that the tongue is out of time, it won't be together. So it's very important, even when you're learning from the very beginning, to think about really great time. Da 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 da. All right, nice and slow and steady is a key to start with. And then when you go to do the Clark study, you're going to be golden. And this is a skill you're definitely going to need. You're going to need to be able to double tongue and move your fingers and play scale-like patterns as you're doing it. So I would say, yeah, from the very beginning, do some double tonguing drills that just require you to play a straight line. But then go to play scales. All of you know scales, right? So then add in some scales to double check what you're doing. Double check your double tonguing. Yeah, my first scale coming down was a little funky, wasn't it? Okay, so that's one of the main points I want you to think about, is keeping the time steady. Number two, we need to make sure that it sounds good and has an efficiency to it and is clear. I mentioned that earlier. Clarity is a problem. So when we go slow, we can really tongue the hell out of it, like taka, 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 and get a real pop and a clarity to it. But that's not going to be a way that you can't really tongue fast that way, right? You're not going to be able to go taka, 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 taka. That just won't work in the mouth. So when you go slow, we have to make sure that it's still very efficient. It has to be very efficient even though it's slow. Like a taka, taka, tuku, 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 dugu, dugu. Use whatever syllable works for you. Whatever one sounds the best is the best one for you. But we want to make sure that we're not going like tuk, 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 and then when we speed that up, it's going to be a big problem. So when you go slow, take it nice and easy. Take it nice and easy and make sure it's connected and beautiful. And whatever's happening in your mouth mechanically is a process that you'll be able to speed up. Okay? If you feel like everything is really mechanical in your mouth when it's slow, then before you go fast, the goal should be to smooth out and kind of sand that down to where it becomes real smooth. So if you start off learning to double tongue with something kind of like this, the first goal shouldn't be speeding it up. The first goal should be smoothing it out. So we want to go from something like, and then once you get it smooth and once it sounds good, then you start to speed it up. And you'll notice as I get going faster, you sort of start to hear more of a pop in there just naturally. Probably I need to practice that more. But anyway, just to recap our little mini talk on double tonguing and what to do, start slow with great time and efficiency and smoothness. We want to feel a continuation of the air through the articulation, not a complete stoppage of the air. Now, if we'll do this, then once we start to speed it up, we're going to have a lot more technique. We'll be able to play Clark studies, and we're going to sound really nice, and we'll be able to tongue very fast and all this kind of stuff, and it'll sound like what we want it to instead of like a machine gun. If you want, send me some recordings of your double tonguing. Thanks. Big shout out to Abby for the idea on this video. We all could use more work on our double tonguing. I've been doing mine every day. I've been doing some of the stuff out of the flow packet, making sure I'm staying on my double tonguing. I would definitely recommend, if this is a new thing that you're developing in your playing, go ahead and start trying to do some scales. Maybe even like a little 5-note thing. And make sure you're getting a great sound. That's very important, right? That's very important that we're learning from the beginning to do this with a great sound. So that's my ideas on double tonguing. I would love more questions. It makes me feel real good as a teacher whenever I feel like I'm addressing something that you actually want to know about. That one day when you're teaching, you'll understand what I'm saying. But if anything you want to hear about, I'll be happy to make a video. So I hope everyone's well, and looking forward to hearing from you soon.